morning and welcome to this edition of News Leader on 6. I'm Jim Fuller. In tonight's news, the Tullahoma Wildcat baseball team played in their first state tournament since 2013. We have more highlights from the Women's Impacting the Community luncheon, and we have a tip for getting rid of those pesky summer bloodsuckers, and that's ticks, not the tax man. We'll have all these stories and more on tonight's News Leader on 6.
Here at Stan McNabb Collision Center, we work with all major insurance companies, and we get the job done right the first time, on time.
Well, I grew up in Tullahoma. We'd always done business with Stan McNabb, so when we needed collision service after a run-in with a deer, we knew to call those guys. We already had trust with them. We called Cody. He took great care of us. He kept us posted every step of the way, and we couldn't have been more pleased.
Getting your vehicle back to pre-loss condition shouldn't be a headache. So in event of an accident, contact me, Cody Hall, at Stan McNabb Collision Center.
He's a little bit of you, he's a little bit of me. He's the trash along the roadside of Tennessee. He's the garbage that we find. He's the dream we left behind. Lord, there ain't no lower class than Tennessee trash. A throwaway bottle or pop top can may not seem much to a traveling man, but a little bit of litter goes a long, long way. I grow and get bigger every day. Tennessee trash messing up the highways. Tennessee trash junking up the byways. Lord, there ain't no lower class than Tennessee trash. Lord, there ain't no lower class than Tennessee trash.
We have met the enemy, and he is us.
Welcome back. For the first time since 2013, the Tullahoma High School baseball team headed to the TSSAA state tournament after securing an 8-0 victory over South Doyle in the sectional round last Friday. THS baseball coach Brian Morris said, quote, "I am super proud of how these guys are handling their business on a daily basis. This is an extremely confident group, and they are playing really well together. The energy in the dugout has been nothing short of outstanding. The guys are just relaxed right now, and that's been the approach at practice. We're still doing what we need to do and putting in the work, but we are keeping things relaxed, and it's paying off now. They're playing well enough and have enough confidence that they expect to win when they get on the field," end quote. Tullahoma is 27-13 on the season and opened the Class 3A state tournament by facing Tennessee 27-9 for the season on Tuesday at Blackman High School. Tullahoma went out to an early lead and maintained that throughout to come away with a 3-1 win over Tennessee. On Wednesday, they faced 18-13 Covington in the second round of playoffs, but lost a heartbreaker with a final score of 9-2. Tullahoma scored their 2 runs in the second inning, but Covington steadily scored throughout the game, solidifying the Wildcat loss. After the loss, the Wildcats turned around and replayed Tennessee, whom they beat 3-1 on Tuesday afternoon. Tennessee came out with an early 3-run lead while holding Tullahoma at bay. The final score was Tennessee 4 and Tullahoma 3, eliminating the Wildcats from the tournament. Our congratulations to the Wildcats for a great season and good luck for next year. At the latest Tullahoma Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting, Vice Mayor Jimmy Blanks read a proclamation about Silver Alert Awareness Month, and Alzheimer's Tennessee's local partner, Fran Gray, accepted the proclamation and addressed the board.
There's probably nobody on this day or in this room that has not been affected by Alzheimer's or any kind of dementia. My dad suffered from that. It's a very sad way to lose a family member, but the City of Tullahoma Office of Mayor proclamation, a proclamation to commemorate May 2022 as Silver Alert Awareness Month. Whereas 120,000 Tennesseans have a diagnosis of Alzheimer's disease and related dementias that may cause loss of memory and other cognitive functions. And whereas the senior population is steadily growing and the aging of the baby boomer generation will likely increase the numbers of Tennesseans with Alzheimer's by 17% over the next 5 years. And whereas 6 out of 10 individuals with the diagnosis of Alzheimer's disease will wander at some time during the course of the disease, and Whereas half of seniors and others with dementia who wander away from home or on foot or in a car sustain injuries if they are not found within 24 hours. And whereas the majority of Tennessee families do not have a plan in place in case their loved one wanders away from home. Whereas in 2021, Alzheimer's Tennessee advocates appeal to the Tennessee General Assembly for the passage of an amendment to update the Silver Alert Law, which created greater collaboration between local law enforcement and the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, and incorporating greater cooperation with the media. And whereas the new Silver Alert Law has resulted more Tennesseans will be returned safely to their families after wandering. Therefore, be it now, therefore I, Ray Noyes, Mayor of Tullahoma, Tennessee, on behalf of the Board of Mayor and Aldermen, and by the authority vested in me, do hereby proclaim May 2022 as Silver Alert Awareness Month and commend it observance to all citizens. And Fran, if you'll come to the flag, we'll present this.
Why don't you get down on the floor and I'll stand right Thank you.
Sure, Fran's going to take the podium and have a comment.
Fran Gray, Alzheimer's Tennessee. It is our honor to bring this before you. We're very grateful that you all decided to go with adopting this bill and supporting it, rather. And we hope that from here on out that we will have an awareness month in May. I want to ask all Tullahomans, if they so desire, if they have any needs, to come see us. We have Silver Alert kits that will help people have records of their loved ones and be prepared in the situation, hopefully that they will not need it. But a lot of us do not have current photographs of our older family members. Bear in mind, not all people with dementia are older, but anyone who might have the propensity to wander, we need to have records of for them. And since this bill went into place, there have been at least 81 cases with well over 70 safe returns. There are 3 active cases still right now. 2 persons were found out of state, and several were found deceased. But just like this proclamation says, the faster we can get the word out and the better we can work together across the state, then we can have more safe returns. So if anyone would like to talk with me more about it, I'm reachable, Alzheimer's Tennessee, 309 North Jackson in Tullahoma, 434-2348. Thank you.
Thank you, Fran,
Thank you
for
all.
what you do.
We'll be right back after these messages.
My husband was diagnosed with a spinal infection. He lost his ability to swallow and the movement of his legs.
I couldn't turn over in bed, I couldn't walk, I couldn't eat.
They were just wonderful in the treatment and care they gave my husband.
I regained my mobility where I was able to go home.
It is miraculous.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
If you've been affected by suicide, you're not alone. Suicide is a leading cause of death that affects millions each year. In most cases, it happens when stressful life events overload the coping abilities of someone suffering from a mental health condition. And the most common condition associated with suicide is depression, an illness that goes undiagnosed or untreated far too often. But the research is clear. Suicide is preventable if we work together. The American Foundation for Suicide Prevention has set a bold goal to reduce the annual suicide rate 20% by 2025. We can save tens of thousands of lives, but we need the help of everyday heroes like you. People have suffered in silence for too long, and too many families have had to weather their losses alone. You can change that. We need you to be the voice for suicide prevention, and it can be as simple as reaching out to a friend, because talk saves lives. If you're having thoughts of suicide, or if you're concerned about someone else, assume you are the only one who will reach out. You can also join hundreds of thousands across the country for our Out of the Darkness community walks and raise awareness of suicide within your community. Together, we'll bring hope to those affected by suicide and raise awareness to save lives. Learn how you can fight suicide. Visit afsp.org today.
MacArthur Manor Assisted Living is passionate about creating better experiences for our Manchester seniors. Our residents describe us in a few words.
Welcoming.
When you walk through the doors at MacArthur Manor, we'll treat you like family.
Caring.
Through high standards of personalized care, we help residents live life to its fullest.
Engaging.
With a wide range of life-enriching activities, there is something for everyone at MacArthur Manor. With our residents and staff now vaccinated, call us today to schedule your safe and personalized tour.
Welcome back. At last week's Women Impacting the Community Luncheon put on by the Tullahoma Area Chamber of Commerce, local educator Gina Bumbelow was honored.
Gina Bumbelow is a servant leader who has devoted her heart, mind, and valuable skills to provide incredible support to the Tullahoma City School students, families, teachers, and staff through her role as Coordinated School Health Director. While her job is to integrate physical, emotional, and social health within the schools, she provides so much more to all on a one-on-one basis. She wrote the curriculum for the Allied Health Services program. In her classes, she's prepared students for a variety of careers in the healthcare field. THS grads are working today in occupations like doctors, nurses, physical therapists, and nurse anestheticists. Woo, I didn't realize that was going to be so hard. Because of the foundation and exposure that Gina Bumbelow provided in her classroom. Her familiarity with medical and health-related resources available in our community, her classroom expertise with Allied Health Service instruction, coupled with her knowledge of the Tullahoma City Schools and our unique needs, made her a perfect fit for this position. Time has only validated her importance in this role and to the district. She has even been recognized at the state level as a Coordinated School Health Director of the Year. She is calm, clear-headed, honest, and kind in all of her interactions with students, colleagues, parents, and others. She is a resource that many in TCS and outside of the district utilize because of her experience and knowledge. Please help me congratulate Gina Bumbelow.
I believe the man said take deep breaths. When you're nervous, I think I'm going to need a few. It's very unexpected because, like others have said, I'm in a room of people that inspire me daily. My mom's with me today. And she inspires me every day too. Thank you very much. And thank you for all of you who have supported me when I came here, letting my kids teach in your classes and come observe. Thank all of you very much.
Also at last week's Women Impacting the Community Luncheon, Rosie Graham was given the Lifetime Achievement Award.
We have already stated that it takes a lot of people to put someone on the moon, and Rosie Graham is one of those people. First and foremost, Rosie has taught many in the area, some in this room, and even more throughout her decades-long career as a teacher. That alone should nominate her for sainthood, because teaching is a noble profession filled with servant leaders who make our world simply by being a resource for students, both children and adult. But what sets Rosie apart is that she has ties beyond the boundaries of Earth. Through her work with IBM in the late 1960s, she was able to have a hand in the first manned mission to the moon in 1969. There, Rosie was one of just 30 women programmers out of more than 600 at IBM at that time. She considers herself part of the second generation of women who got into the technology field. With her math and physics degrees and teaching certificates, Rosie was eventually asked to teach at IBM. Rosie ended up in Tullahoma as a result of her husband Ralph's work at Arnold Air Force Base as an aerospace engineer. She started and raised her family here before returning to work as a programmer at Arnold for many years before transitioning back to her teaching role, which is another passion of hers. In addition to her amazing career history, Rosie has dedicated hundreds of hours to bettering the education of Tullahoma and improving the arts in Tullahoma. She previously served on the Tullahoma City School Board and dedicated time to community theater, including scores of shows from Community Playhouse, housed at South Jackson Civic Center. She is an avid supporter of education, the arts, and athletics, and has proven that she deeply loves this community and wants better for it. She has put in the time and sweat equity to improve the quality of life for our community. Please help me welcome Rosie Graham.
I'm kind of like Colleen. It's kind of difficult to do this. I look around and I'm just so grateful to be a part of this community and know so many wonderful, outstanding women. My grandson and I were talking about a week ago, and he said, Roro, you have had so many experiences in your life. And I said, when you are my age, you have a lot of experiences. And the best I can say about that is I have been so fortunate to be in the right place at the right time so many times. And moving to Tullahoma in 1976 was the right place and the right time. It has provided me with so many opportunities, and it has impacted me. It has given back to me so much more than I've given. And I'm so appreciative of my friends and my students and all of you, and thank you so much. I'm so grateful.
Stay with us. More news is coming up in a moment.
I had a knee replacement, so they've got me in life care, which I'm very, very thankful for. I couldn't garden, I couldn't do my flower beds, I can't chase my little dogs. I have been in several therapy sessions for knees and back, and that's the best therapist I believe I've ever been to. It's tremendous because I'm able to walk again, but if it wasn't for the care, I wouldn't be where I am.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Hi, I'm Fran Gray with Alzheimer's Tennessee. When you receive a diagnosis of Alzheimer's disease for yourself or someone you love, please know that you do not have to go through this journey alone. Alzheimer's Tennessee is here for you to provide support and education, all the help you may need to get through this challenge. Our number is 931-434-2348. We encourage you to give us a call. We're here to help.
I feel like we're safe at Parkview.
There's somebody on staff all the time. So if you need help, help is there.
We are surrounded with people that are looking after us and taking care of us.
The staff is wonderful and always available. We feel so safe and secure here.
I feel safe at Parkview all the time.
Welcome back. Tick season is here, and that elevates the importance of checking yourself, your family members, and your pets for ticks after any significant time spent outdoors. The bloodsuckers add an extra layer of anxiety, too, because they sometimes carry illnesses such as Lyme disease. So not finding them can have serious consequences, and if you accidentally break off part of the tick while trying to remove it, it can still transmit its illness in the bite, and the bite can also get infected. So if you find one on your body, how do you get rid of it? The CDC recommends using fine-tip tweezers for removing ticks, but what if you don't have one handy? Folk methods of removing ticks are usually a bad idea for one of a few reasons. Either they aim to induce the tick to detach with time, when you should remove ticks immediately to minimize chances of disease transmission, or they risk injuring the tick's host, fire-borne skin, as well as ticks after all. But this method is quick and harmless. All you need is a Q-tip. When you locate an attached tick, immediately grab a Q-tip and gently twirl tight circles around the wound, lightly pulling at the tick. The goal here is not to pull the tick free, but to cause it to release and latch onto the Q-tip. It should happen within a few moments. It's usually quick and painless. What's more, you have virtually no risk of leaving mouthpieces in the wound since the tick detaches itself. If on the off chance something goes wrong, you can always still run out to the store and get some tweezers, as the CDC recommends. Once you dispose of the tick, you can clean the bite with soap and water or alcohol. So get out there and have fun now that school's out, but keep a Q-tip handy. With COVID vaccines expected to be approved for the youngest children in June, we thought we'd see what the American Academy of Pediatrics has to say about a regular question many pediatricians get asked: whether children need to be vaccinated if they've already caught COVID.
When we get the COVID-19 virus, our body does create antibodies, but we do not know how long it lasts for, to the point that we have seen multiple kids and adults getting sick again and again and again. And the second and third time, it doesn't mean that they will get better or more protected. Some of them end up in the hospital. That's why it's so important to get the vaccine, because that way we know how long it works for, how much is protecting it, and most importantly, how safe it is.
We'll be right back after these commercial messages.
We tend to lose our motivation when we have something that's chronic, but you've got to do what you can early on as you can. After I'd exercise like that, I would have a lot of energy to do housework or whatever I needed. Well, I would recommend it highly to anyone at any degree of Parkinson.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
MacArthur Manor Assisted Living is passionate about creating better experiences for our Manchester seniors. Our residents describe us in a few words.
Welcoming.
When you walk through the doors at MacArthur Manor, we'll treat you like family.
Caring.
Through high standards of personalized care, we help residents live life to its fullest.
Engaging.
With a wide range of life-enriching activities, there is something for everyone at MacArthur Manor. With our residents and staff now vaccinated, call us today to schedule your safe and personalized tour.
Welcome back. With the school year concluded, the Tullahoma High School Distributed Education Clubs of America, or DECA, celebrated the conclusion of a stellar competitive season. Abby Lynch, Olivia Murphy, and Emma Bell represented Tullahoma at the DECA International Conference in Atlanta last month. The Tullahoma High School sophomores were three of the 17,000 students, advisors, and industry leaders who attended the competition and leadership events. Prior to the international conference, Lynch, Murphy, and Bell had placed highly at the state level. Lynch took home second in human resources. Murphy had a second place effort in restaurant management, and Bell finished fifth in entrepreneurship. THS Principal Jason Quick said, quote, "Under the leadership of Sharon Woodard, the DECA program has become well known throughout the state for developing some of the best young leaders in the fields of marketing, finance, and hospitality. This year's group was no exception, as the team did exceptionally well in the state competition, and we had 3 that went to the international competition in Atlanta. Olivia, Emma, and Abba were superb and represented our school and district well," end quote. Tullahoma has had several students placed at the district level and qualify for the state competition. Below is a list of the participants from THS. Individual role plays, Natalie Richards. Human Resources, first place, Natalie Tadera. Financial Consulting, first place, Olivia Murphy. Restaurant Management, first place, Abby Lynch. Human Resources, second place, Charlie Dodson. Principals of Marketing, second place, Ashley Weaver. Professional Selling, second place, Dustin Sales. Personal Financial Consulting, third place, Stephanie Ducat. Quick Serve Management, third place. Congratulations to the Tullahoma High School DECA team for having a record-breaking year. Stay with us. Your weather forecast is coming up next.
We teach Parkinson's patients how to move big and not let the Parkinson's slow them down. I've had patients I've treated in-house that could not even stand up, could not roll over in the bed, left the facility walking with a walker, have come back to us in outpatient and continued their big program and are now completely, handling life. The success of the program is just phenomenal.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
I am tremendously blessed to be living at Parkview and very happy to be part of a loving and caring community.
Best thing you can say is this really a great place to live. That's all there is to it, no doubt about that.
It's your home. You just do what you would if you were at your private home. We love it. It's great.
It's just like having a whole neighborhood around you, and it's fun.
It's just a great place to live.
Welcome back. We'll take a look at your weather forecast at this time, starting with your weather history on this day. Our record high was in 1925 at 95 degrees. Record low was in the record high was in 1926 at 95 degrees. Record low was a year later in 1925 at 38 degrees. Average high on this day is 80 and the average low is 58. Thunderstorms in the forecast for tonight with a low of 57. Storms are moving out on Friday with a high expected of 73 and a low of 56. And sunny weather returns on Saturday with a high of 77 and a low of 58. And that's our News Leader report for this day. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 6, 8, and 10 for News Leader on 6. You have a good evening.